What up, y'all? I know I'm late on my Raiders reaction. What was this week? This is our sixth game, so it's week 7 because we had a bye. So we're 2-4 now. Great win by the squad. I think we won by 38-7, 38-20, 18 points, 3-possession game. I don't know. My feelings watching the game. I want to talk about the Texans. They're 1-3-1, horrible record, just like the Raiders, bro. So honestly, it was for us to win this way was great. A lot of things went our way. Things like mistakes they made that could have gone the other way. Huge penalties where they were going for it. You know, they were going for a first down that would have carried on their possession further. But because of a penalty, made them actually give the ball back to us when our team was in rhythm. And it really hurt them, honestly. And it was kind of hard to believe, too, because we're always the ones that jump off sides or false start when we're, trying to get them to go off side. So it showed a lot of good discipline on our side. And obviously for us to get points off, like basketball, points off turnovers. There's a lot more turnovers in basketball than there is in football. But for us to score when we get the ball back, score off those mistakes they made, is for them to go off sides or to commit penalties at the wrong time. And for us to get the ball back and score is kind of like getting points off turnovers. So that was a big deal for us. We had to, Our offense was gelling, And excuse me. I want to talk how my emotions during the game, and me being a football player and seeing what I was seeing. Stills, the quarterback for the Texans, is really good, honestly. I think he's been a backup he's like a veteran, but he's been a backup for a while. I think. I could be totally wrong. I think the Texans had a guy named Stills before. Maybe he was a wide receiver. But I think this guy Stills has been around a while. The way he was making plays, standing in the pocket, the way he did some sort of a shovel pass when the pocket was collapsing. He seems a very confident quarterback. We didn't get many sacks. We didn't really dominate on the sack and the sack margin. So their line was okay. There was a lot of drop passes by their offense, by the wide receivers. A lot of things went our way, like I said. There was a lot of drop passes by the receivers. The running back is a stud. The rookie from Florida. I mean, the best Florida running back that ever came out of there was Percy Harvin, and he was more like an athlete, But shout out to Percy Harvin, man. He should be in the Hall of Fame for sure. But so the running back, the receivers aren't really well known. They're not star-studded. This team is not full of stars, but their offense isn't too bad, and their defense, I mean, Josh Jacobs is just a stud, man. He is something else. He is very talented, man. The guy is very focused, very in tune, and he takes it seriously, man. You know he's a professional. He's working hard. It only shows because the way he makes quick decisions, he sees the field quick, man, and you only become this by hard work. There's no shortcut to it, man. That guy, he sleeps. The story, he grew up sleeping in a fucking car with his dad. I think they never talk about his mom. I think his dad was a single father who raised all his kids, and you could just tell Jacobs ain't trying to lose none of that shit, and God bless him, and he's one of the best running backs in the league, man. He's one of the best running backs in the league. He's one of the best football players in the league. And for him to come out this game healthy, we're pretty lucky, man. And I hope I hope they take care of his body throughout the week, because he's our heart and soul for sure of our offense. And so yeah, Texans kind of beat themselves, honestly. They seem actually a lot better than the record show, but this is the NFL, If you go to maybe they lost a lot of close games. But going to the Raiders, I want to say our offensive line and pass protection is still struggling. Um, Carr actually showed a lot of rhythm today. A lot of plays where there was play action, where the scheme was for him to make a play on the run, make a play rolling out. You know, he threw a beautiful dime to Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow slid, got up quick, got another, a few more yards after catch, and then he even threw a dime to, not on the touchdown play, but he threw a couple real good ones to number 10. What the fuck's his name, man? I forgot his name. It'll come to me. Mac Hollins. And Mac Hollins is kind of growing on me because I was a huge fan of Zay Jones, and Zay Jones is tearing it up. I think Zay Jones, I don't think he plays for Buffalo, but Zay Jones is on a squad. I think he plays for Jacksonville now. Zay Jones is still a stud, man. But Mac Hollins is growing on me. I think he's really gelling with Carr. I don't have to like Mac Hollins, but, if he's having a vibe with their quarterback and they're gelling and getting on the same page, and I love that, man. That's you don't got to please me. You just got to win, man. And Mac Hollins showed a lot of toughness today. There was like a double pass where, actually, I think it was like a pitch to Jacobs, or maybe it might have been a pass to Jacobs. It was behind the line, and then Jacobs throws it back to Carr. And you can see Jacobs, like, the way he threw it, he was like, don't fuck this throw up. But he throws it behind him back to Carr for a double pass to Hollins. And that was a pretty cool play, especially after the whole defense was not expecting that. And that was like towards, Jacobs was already establishing himself in the game. So for him to get the ball, I'm pretty sure they didn't think he was going to throw it back. And then Carr was going to throw it to Hollins, because Carr literally only threw it like 10 yards past the line of scrimmage. It wasn't like a deep double pass, but it brought us into the, and close to the goal line. But, Hunter Renfrow, he hasn't had the biggest game, but he's doing what he's not fumbling the ball. He's not dropping the ball. When it comes his way, he's catching it. And shout out to Foster Moreau, man. I like Foster Moreau, bro. I don't want to talk smack, but I don't know. I can only say what I've been seeing and noticing, and there's been a lot of talks throughout the Raider community about, even last year, about Waller and Carr not being on the same page. I think Waller, and I'm similar. Waller, he's an emotional dude. He has addictive personality. But I think he might be bipolar. The guy maybe he has highs and lows. Maybe he's not the most positive person to be around. Maybe he battles with his own egotistic, substitute for lack of confidence. You know what I mean? And maybe that's not the easiest person to get along with, or not the greatest positive vibe to be around. I mean, I don't want to be super negative. Earlier, I was super negative. Like, no, maybe we don't need Waller back, bro. Let's trade him for what we get from him now, because something in me tells me he's already checked out, man. He does his rap music for YouTube. Like, is he fully invested in this team and to win a championship? I don't think so. The guy gets a growing injury. I mean, that just shows me, like, you're just not prepared, bro. You're not fully prepared, bro. I just like, skipping games like that. What does it mean to you, bro? Are you checked out because we're 1-4? Like, I don't know. Waller, to me, kind of pisses me off, because I'm looking at it from a coach's perspective. I'm speaking as if I was your coach, bro. If I was McDaniels, I would be like, bro, are you a rapper, bro? Like, say that shit for the offseason. Like you need to be fully invested. And I need someone I think Foster Moreau is more invested in the team. He's made some tough catches. Carr even, like, fucking laid one out there. It was like third down, but he laid it out there and he got smacked. He didn't catch the ball. It was a bad throw. But, I'm just saying, these tough plays. And Foster Moreau's majority in there to block, And for him to block, I know he's probably a better blocker than Waller, but for him to block and then still make some really good plays, I like Foster Moreau, actually. And so I don't know about Waller, but like I said, I could be wrong. Like I said, as long as our team's getting along, that's all that fucking matters. I just want us to win, Just like Mac Hollins, I'm like, oh, fuck, but Mac Hollins is doing good, And so I can't really have this opinion. But I could have the opinion. I could just go off of what I feel, and if I feel that way, that's how I feel. And um, so I'm talking about our offense. I love. Oh, shout out to number 19, our fast guy we're using now for a lot of jet sweeps. I like these jet sweeps. I really do. I think one or two actually worked. I just feel like a couple, like especially what I do like about our coaches is that a lot of these fucked up plays, like these jet sweeps that happened like a couple games ago, I can't remember, that some of these situational screen plays that weren't working. Like if you guys watch my reactions, like the screen plays that were hitting our linemen in the ass instead of touching our fucking receivers' hands, or these jet sweeps to the short side of the field, or these weird run packages and run selections like that put us, we get no yardage at all, or we lose yardage, and so it ends up being like a 3rd and long. It even happened today where with that number 19, I can't remember his name, but we tried to do a jet sweep and like it didn't work at all. And I was like, what the heck? But then we ended up running it again and it actually worked. So I like that we're persistent, consistent, and we're sticking to what we believe in. But I think we could be a little smarter. Be a little fucking smarter sometimes. And that goes to our coaching. But I like that number 19 guy. I like that he's finding a role, especially Abdullah as well. A lot of times, Abdullah, number 22, we threw it to him like on 3rd and long with just like a safe screenplay to see what we can get. Maybe he might break it, he might get it, or he might make it 4th and short. We might have an option. Should we go for sure? We not. You know what I mean? So I would like to see him maybe touch the ball, not in 3rd and long situations. Let's actually throw him at the defense when we have the rhythm on our side, you know. So, and I'll get back to rhythm, but that's pertaining to McDaniels. And so I like Abdullah. I just think we need to get him in there a little sooner or differently, not in a desperate situation, you know, where we want him to save us, you know. It's like, you know, I just think that's kind of silly. But so who else stood out? Okay, and Devontae Adams, man. The guy surprises me, you know. Like I said, I wasn't a Packers fan. I wasn't always watching the Packers, but I like that he fights for extra yards, man. He catches the ball, and he's quick enough to even get extra yards. He's swift enough to get extra yards, and that's just somebody who shows effort, man. And that's plain and simple. Showing effort. Yeah, and I love it. And I think when Devontae Adams, when we have a running game going, I know we don't have, like, there's not, like, Waller, like I said, he was missing today, but you know, we expect to have like dominance from all our skill players, especially what we've seen before, you know, but sometimes there's not enough ball to go around, right? And but the thing is, when your running game looks good, it seems like you have a like, you know, sometimes the team won't have no really good running game, but they have 2 really good receivers, right? I feel like right now we only have really 1 good receiver that's capable of getting open at all times. It just might be just his body. Hunter Renfrow might just be too small. Mac Hollins just might not have that agility and that route running that's required to be a dominant receiver, right? But he is tough. You know, he showed it today, the way he caught that touchdown pass down the middle. But when you have a star running back, because at some points in the season, you know, with this team this season, at some points, it seemed like if we couldn't get it to Devontae Adams, there was no hope, right? That was probably because we hadn't established any running game throughout that game, and or bad play selection that just totally forgot how good our running back is, or didn't keep drives alive to, you know, for our running back to make plays, you know. And then you would see frustration on Carr. It's a lot of times it's just like chess. It's how you set it up, how you set your team up, you know. You got to go with the rhythm of the game. I feel like sometimes you need to step back, and that's why film's important. You got to go with the rhythm of the game, and I think our coach is actually doing that now. Like McDaniels needs to step back and say, let me go with the rhythm of the game. Let me not try so hard, you know. If we have a good running back, why the fuck am I not going to him, you know? Josh Jacobs is our squad. He's been that way. Like, you're not gonna have a coach come and switch. You're really not gonna. You should just keep what was working and then complement it until those players who were already there before you are incapable anymore, or just are not there no more. And then you're like, okay, now it's time to create something new. By that time you already been there, and then you're gonna bring in people to complement what's has been working. Like, things will wither away, and then new things will come. And I think our coaches actually, because you have to have some life experience too. You can't just be this pampered coach whose dad was a coach. Now you're gonna be a coach and think you're great. Like, I don't think that's gonna happen at all, because first of all, who was your dad? Like, was he fucking Belichick? Was he fucking, was the dude Tom Landry? Like, his last name Landry? Is his last name Lombardi? Like so I think this guy's learning a little bit more. I think he's learning he's learning like about life and about himself as he's coaching, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad he's getting out of his own way, So yeah, I think Carr showed some I think he was playing off the rhythm of our running game. I think he everything was just gelling today, Shout out to our offensive line. Amazing, man. Number 45, our fullback, who's like 6'4". The dude is an animal. He's like, this fool's a fucking fullback. How does he even get low enough to block anybody? But he got to eat today. He got to eat. He got to block people. He got to get in front of his running back and lead the way for him. And it makes your line confident to be able to bend around and crack some people. Not have to be nervous about this fast fullback, or this fast defensive end, or this meaty fucking defensive tackle that you got to be. As soon as they hike it, you got to stand your ground, and they're going to push you back. Like, that's difficult to do. That's more difficult than run blocking, because you have to move forward. Like, the way they teach pass blocking is more to stand your ground and defend, and hold your block. But when it's running, you just fucking bulldoze, man. And I think it's like when I was watching my brother's high school football game, and there was like a one, like they were stacking the box because my brother's team is a running offense, and they had one-on-one with a wide receiver. Like, the kid's a wide receiver. You don't trust. The guy's a quarterback. He's half of the game is to throw the ball. And like it was weird. Like, the head coach is right in front of the right in front of that one-on-one scenario, but he's just looking at the running game. Like, bro, show some versatility. Show some, you have to build your players' confidence up, bro. They're not literally just a machine for you, but they're also, you have to build their confidence up, And so yeah, that's the offensive side. Which is back to McDaniels. What I said earlier, I was gonna go back to, is just him not going with the rhythm, filling the game out, And our defense actually, they're looking a little bit tired. That's it, because this season we didn't help them. The games before, they've actually looked better than our offense in a lot of these first 5 games of the season, where it was like, bro, we're not helping out our fucking defense, bro. And today we help them out. And what happens? They get a pick. It only shows that when our offense is, fucking does its job and takes advantage of these penalties, these drop passes on third down, these other teams are giving us, how they're beating themselves. Well, when we fucking take advantage of that, what happens? We get a pick, bro. To the house, homie. And shout out to Harmon. He said as soon as he picked it, the first thing he thought about was his family, and he was looking at his wife as he was running. That's amazing, man. His wife was cheering all crazy. I love that, man. It's probably not easy for a NFL wife. She got to travel with her man, but it's a good life to live though too, Especially for a woman, she hit the lotto, She got a man who's living his dream, and like I said, we're undersized. Like, our defensive ends, they're not getting there every play, We don't have the most dominant defensive tackles, but shout out to Hankins, Vickers. They were playing hard today, Shout out to Cleveland Farrell. You even seen Jonathan Abram playing linebacker, You know, we do give up a lot of plays. We're a little undersized at safety. We're missing, you know, Jayon Brown. He got hurt. You know, shout out to Martinez. He played okay. He missed a lot of tackles, but you know, we'll see. You know, Perryman. You know, I'm sure Perryman's beat up. You know, he's in there almost every play making a tackle. And like I said, our offense really helped out our defense today. You know, our defense is looking tired. We do give up a lot of plays. You know, but we don't give up. You know, and yeah. So yeah, it's it was a good game today, and we're playing the Saints next week at New Orleans, so it's probably going to be an early game. If it's not a primetime game, it's probably going to be a 10 o'clock game, I'm pretty sure. It's going to be a big test for us, man. We're 2-4. We're 2-4, and it's going to be a competitive game. I don't see us getting whooped, but like I said, Carr did show toughness. He got hurt in the beginning of the game. He got a little dinged up. I don't know exactly what happened to him, but he fought through and he came back, man. And yeah, man. And shout out Averett, man. Averett, we don't hear a lot of Averett, the cornerback with the red hair. You know, we don't hear a lot from him. You know, we don't see him making a lot of bad plays. He's not always getting burned. Well, today there was a play where they were in the red zone and the quarterback, he was getting pressured. He just throws it up. His guy ends up being open, and he beats Averett to the corner and makes a touchdown. So he kind of got beat on that play. It was a little awkward of a throw. It was a quick throw. He just kind of tossed it up. His guy ends up, you know, seeing where the ball was going. He reacted a little faster. But other than that, you know, you didn't really see him much. You don't see him much, but, you know, I feel like he's going to have a game where he does break out. But not seeing a guy sometimes means he's doing his job, you know, so it's a good thing. Josh Abram, I seen you get pancakes sick today. You're always in there, man. So, shout out Diablo. He played probably the whole game. Martinez came in with Perryman on different packages, and yeah. Anyway, peace.